Thank you. All right, so yeah, we're going over these notes. You can find them on the announcements, or you can go to the module and find them there as well. We'll go over these fairly quickly, and we'll be done for the day, so I can give you plenty of time to get done with anything you need to do for my class or even another class. I'm going to be very nice and give you time to even work on other classes' work. We're going to go through these notes. Like I said, they're right here if you need them. It's really not long today. And then you're going to also need to do the total recall. But like I said, I'm being very nice. You may want to even consider doing work for other classes concerning 6 weeks ends today. Um, so if you need to go back and do this on Monday, that's fine with me. Again, I'm being very nice, but make sure you go back and do it, because if you don't, then you're going to have a bad grade in my class. So. But I understand y'all got a lot of work probably that needs to be done, and it's your fault. I'm just gonna be very honest. It's your fault. It's not like you didn't have time to do it. So, but I'm being very nice and giving you that opportunity to fix it. So,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Grading quiz. Boop, boop, boop. Cool. And like I said, this will be due we'll do Wednesday next week, which it is what it is. Okay. No big deal. So let's go ahead and, like I said, get started so we can get done. Because we can't get done until we get started. That's a quote. You can quote me on that. It's a good quote. All right, so human touch. So importance of human resources management. So again, we're still just working with human resources. We're talking about human resources just like we were yesterday. What would your company do without its human resources? Think of an ice cream shop in this situation. Who would make sure the lights were turned on and the doors were unlocked? Who would take orders, run the cash register, and who would craft those delicious sundaes and cones? Simply put, all the business other resources are useless without humans to control them. That's why having the right human resources in place is so important. All human resources make an impact on a business, whether that impact is positive or negative. A good employee in a certain job position can boost a company's productivity, help create profit, and contribute to a pleasant working environment. The wrong employee in the same position may not only cause a company to miss out on these benefits, but can also create negative results in their place. HR management exists to make sure that they employ that every employee in the company is available, knowledgeable, productive, and satisfied. Pretty basic stuff. So, a world of change. So, the role of human resource management in business is constantly changing and evolving. One reason is that employee needs are different than they were in the past. Greater diversity now exists in the workforce in terms of gender, age, culture, and ability. The average employee is no longer a white male. A great variety of backgrounds, perspective, and needs are represented. HR managers must take the diversity into account when performing their job tasks. There's also a greater emphasis on creating balance between work and personal lives than ever before. Many companies are addressing the need for offering employees options such as flexible work schedules and opportunities to telecommunicate, work from home. Human resource management is involved in working out the details of such arrangements. Also, technology is growing, and we've seen it more than ever now that you can work from home technically for a lot of different jobs. Um, and we're starting to see which jobs are more effective working from home and which jobs aren't effective from working from home. We're seeing that education is not, I guess this is in my opinion, but I think it's pretty factual. Education is not as good when it's being done virtually at the high school level. It can be done at the college level, but there's no way you can tell me from looking at my grades and all the grades from across the state that virtual learning is working as well as in-class learning. Um, that is not me making a political statement saying that we need to all go back to school now. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's pretty obvious, and I don't think there's an argument here, that y'all being in school is a lot better than being at home. But to get back to my point, that I kind of went round and round about, we're seeing though that HR is going to have to deal with things like this in the future now, right? As we're talking about a world of change, the world is very much changing now. Do we allow our employees to work from home or do we not? Because once we get out of this pandemic, there might be some companies who realize, hey, our employees can work from home, no big deal. It works fine. And some companies might figure out, We don't need to work from home at all. So there's different things to think about. And also, we need to also look into employees' mental health. It's not good for you to get off work at 5 o'clock, go home, and then get back to work on your laptop and work at stuff from home. When you get off, you get off, and that's probably what needs to be the case for most jobs. Yes, there are some jobs that it doesn't work like that, um, but it's important for employees' mental health to have that time away from their job and not be thinking about their job, because probably they'll be better employees the next day if they weren't working till 8, 9 o'clock on their work, and then they have to come back the next day and start the whole process over again. Um, that's kind of, I guess you could say, that's also my opinion, but it's pretty obvious you need time away from your job, um, and I mean everyone deserves to have a life outside of their job. So employees aren't the only ones who have to change have changed though. Business is different now as well. The cost of doing business constantly rising, so it does cost a lot more. But you can cut costs by maybe having less employees because technology is starting to function better. Companies are always looking for ways to keep expenses down and product production up. Human resource management is not exempt in some cases. HR activities may be outsourced, possibly to outside employment agencies or delegated to department managers. Now, this isn't always a good thing. Like I said, it's not necessarily a good thing if you're hiring less employees. That means, unfortunately, that means less people are hired, and that means our economy is not doing as well. If you outsource all of our jobs to different countries, that also is going to make things in our country a little bit worse because that means more people are unemployed. So these are important things to think about. Um, so it's a give and take kind of situation here. The same thing, like I made a solid point about the other day, I talked about the minimum wage and how there's a debate going on that in the country. In some places, the minimum wage might need to be $15 an hour, and in some places, the minimum wage cannot be $15 an hour. I mean, and I'm not trying to be political with y'all. I'm just strictly telling you, there's no way the minimum wage can be $15 an hour in some locations in the United States. It just can't. It's not going to work. And basically, what's going to happen is at your local in these areas, like I said, there's some places, big cities, where the cost of living is higher and just everything costs more. It might work and it might be fine. But in some small areas, probably even like our area here, basically at McDonald's, at Taco Bell, at all your restaurants, they're just going to get the machines that take your order and there'll be a cook in the back. People won't have money to stock. They're not going to be able to afford to pay people to stock shelves. So you might can see some businesses start up where they start paying people by the job to stock shelves. That could be an option that someone might would take. So, but HR again has to deal with all of these things. And again, I'm not trying to be political, but I am just being very honest with you that the minimum wage has to be different for the area you live in. It can't all be the same, or it's not going to work out very well. Business environments are always transforming too. The economic climate can shift quickly, and there is a growing trend toward globalization. New technologies seem to pop up virtually overnight. To keep pace, companies make constant adjustments such as organizational restructures and outsourcing. All these changes create human consequences. Human resource management deals with the consequences in nearly all of its activities. Again, if you outsource some of your jobs, there's a good chance that other people are going to lose their jobs at your local businesses if they're going to other countries, obviously. Miss Hudson, if those don't work, there's some in Mr. Weston's drawer.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was just let you know if you needed them.
In what drawer? 'Cause I don't know if these are mine.
The metal cabinets right there. I think it's the second one up. It's one of those three
Okay.
that pull out. Okay, human resources and strategic management. So now you know that human resource management involves a lot more than just interviewing and hiring employees. Today, HR executives play a vital role when it comes to a business's strategic planning. That's one of the words you need to know. They're often found at the same meeting table with the company's CEO, CFO, or COO, board members, and other top-tier managers. HR managers can provide valuable insight into important company decisions such as organizational restructure, mergers, acquisitions, downsizing, etc., and budgeting. Why is human resource management so important for a business? Strategic plans. Strategic plans are made for the company's long-range future, and no company's future looks bright without the right human resources in place. Again, honestly, the entire concept of this whole lesson is based on the fact that you do have to have humans working in your business for it to be successful. And you have to have somebody who's managing all of those people basically and making sure they're getting what they need. Because if you have unhappy employees, they're not going to work for you, right? So they're going to leave, and then you're not going to have any employees, and then your business is going to fail. So that's why HR is so important. Human resource management can also help business gain a long-term competitive advantage over the rest of the industry. Consider two competitive businesses that are equal in size, capital, and access to raw materials. With all other factors being equal, human resources can make the difference in one business being more successful than the other. How productive and efficient are the employees? How well do they control the resources to create revenue? Is employee satisfaction high, reducing turnover and hiring training costs? That's what I literally just said. Well-managed human resources enhance organizational performance and often determine whether a company is good or great. Again, your best companies usually have low employee turnover rate. The employees do a good job there because they are happy, and if you're happy about your job, then you're going to do a good job at your job, usually. So last thing, the summary of this section is human resources are important to business effectiveness because they control all the other company resources. The role of human resources management is constantly changing and evolving as employees and businesses needs change. Human resource managers play vital roles in strategic planning. So if you have time today, go ahead and get the shuttle recall done. If you're missing some work or something, then you might could put this off till Monday and get any work that needs to be done today done, because this isn't due till later, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you have nothing else to do, go ahead and get it done. Why not? I'm going to stop my recording. If y'all have any questions, please let me know. Again, the 6 weeks ends today, so make sure you're getting all that work in. If you're missing anything, make sure you turn it in. If you've turned in something incorrectly, you can still turn it in, and I will grade it. All those quizzes have multiple attempts. I think they're not limited, so take as many as you can, get the highest grade you can. It's always good to start the 6 weeks off, the first 6 weeks off with a high grade because you set yourself up for success and not failure. So, all right, that's all I have today for you. So, yeah, I want to stop the recording. So have a good weekend, and I'll see y'all next week.